Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon. On behalf of Invest Hong Kong, I would like to welcome all of you to the seminar, Create Impacts by the Technology-Enabled Re-industrialization. First of all, may I please introduce myself. I'm Natalie, and I'll be your MC for this afternoon. So before we get started, may I just take a few minutes to remind our participants with the following points. The section will be conducted in English with simultaneous interpretation in Putonghua. So for on-site audiences, you may take the headsets from the table at the entrance. And for online audiences, the microphones and videos for the audience will be muted at all times. So if you wish to ask any questions, please submit your questions using the Q&A function. We may not be able to address all questions during the seminar. Unanswered questions will be replied individually via email after the webinar. So, the HKSAR government has been actively promoting re-industrialization in recent years to foster a more vibrant and diverse economy. Today, we are very honored to bring this together to the key stakeholders to share their valuable insights and experience about re-industrialization or advanced manufacture in Hong Kong. So we're going to have two panel discussions. And the first panel discussion will address the opportunities and challenges for the development of advanced manufacturing in Hong Kong. Before we get this all started, I would like to invite each speaker to make a 5 to 10 minute presentation. And after all the introductions, it will be followed by dialogue among the panelists. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me to invite Ms. Sharon Seat, our first speaker, presenter, Assistant Director, Re-industrialization, Hong Kong Science and Technology Parks Corporations, to the stage, please. Ms. Seat, please.
Hello everyone. Good afternoon. So thanks for the invitation from Invest Hong Kong. And we'd like to share some of the progress from HKSTP regarding the supporting to advanced manufacturing and industrialization moving forward. So this year is the 20th anniversary of Science Park. We are hosting more than 1,000 companies in Science Park in Sa Tin. And then there are about, so I'm not going to go through all the numbers, but there are about 20,000 working force, which more than half is working on R&D. So seeing there are actually a lot progress in the R&D in Hong Kong. So we are thinking about, so what about the industry in Hong Kong? So I would like to share a video to you. It's our idea on how we support the industry in Hong Kong from Science Park.
It's time for Made in Hong Kong to start a new page. And a mere industrial estate won't be enough. Re-industrialization is not about looking back, but looking forward. It's not just about manpower, but brain power. Tomorrow, we don't just manufacture, we innofacture at InnoPark. In here, we see a tomorrow where R&D and innofacturing can all happen in one place, where we make what we consume every day, where a sustainable economy is invested and realized, where we use old wisdom to inspire new industrialists, where future opportunities of the younger generation get diversified, where innovated, designed, made in Hong Kong becomes a badge of pride. Here, we bring your imagination to life. Innofacturing tomorrow. InnoPark.
So we renamed, okay, so other than the Science Park in Sa Tin, we're also taking care of 3 InnoParks in Hong Kong, which in Yunnan, Tai Po, and Jiangguangnou. So seeing there are a lot of demands from the commercialization, to support the commercialization of R&D research, and not like in old days, every the factories maybe lease a piece of land and spend a few years to build their own factory at quite large scale. And we see a lot of demands to support R&D. So there may be in a smaller scale, but they need special provision to support. So we're going to share some of the new recent developments in building the feature-based industrial building, that how we can support maybe a smaller scale or at the starting point from R to I, so from research to industry. There are some of the criteria. So people talk about re-industrialization. So what about Hong Kong, and what we can, through each factory, or maybe even small factory, but we contribute to the re-industrialization of Hong Kong. So we identified some critical criteria which output investment. So through all these criteria, and we hope that we are transforming the industry in Hong Kong from the old one, what we call industrial estate, into the inno factory, which in our inno parks. So there are some of the examples. Some of the names were familiar to Hong Kongese and closely related to our daily life. So some of the food factories, a lot of food factories allocated in our inno parks. But moving into the right-hand side, what you can see, some of the logos are new logos, and most of those are research in Hong Kong. And then they try to implement their research result or to make it realized in Hong Kong. So we have some more of the new development in Hong Kong. So this is what we are going to share is one of the recent newest industry building in Jiangguanou Inno Parks, which we have special features to support the new type of the manufacturings.
我哋期望住利用住 AMC 佢有嘅非常之優厚嘅條件，係能夠製造到世界一流，但係亦都係低成本以至於高品質嘅生物科技嘅產品。
我哋喺 AMC 有一個好穩定嘅生產基地咧，令到我哋嗰個科研係更加有一個穩定嘅基地去投產我哋開發出嚟嘅一啲新產品，對提升嗰個成個產能咧係以10幾倍嘅升幅計算嘅。
咁 AMC 呢一個先進製造業中心咧，其實係亞洲第一個真正配合咗製造同埋物流喺同一個 facility 入邊操作中心嚟嘅，針對佢哋細批量同埋多元化嘅產品咧，去迎合市場唔同嘅需要。
So this is one of the example that we try to see how the building facility or the provision can support different demands from the different industry. So probably in a smaller scale production, they cannot afford to build everything by themselves. So we try to develop a ecosystem in one building, like we provide the logistic service, or we have the all the provisions ready so that the production, the factory, that they can focus on what inside their production area, so they take care less about the other hurdle things. In AMC, there are, it's actually we try to see how we can bridge the R&D to industry. So this is the what we call the valley of death for the researchers. So after they cross the first valley of death, and they have the other one that when they are trying to make their research in larger scale commercialization. So we make another communal facilities in AMC, which is Pro Shop. We're providing low volume manufacturing so that to help for the developments to go through the manufacturing technology. So this is one of the example in how we implement into the industrial building in our new developments in InnoParks. The other example we would like to share this is another building in Taipo InnoParks, and we into the whole industry, get demand from the whole industry. So we build most of the facilities in the building, so that it's actually like a factory is like moves the major equipments, and they can start the production. So one of the example in mass building, they start from the taking over the premises until they start the production is within 1 week, because we build most of the facilities for them. Okay, this is another one. Stay tuned. It's in Yunnan, and this is a microelectronics center. So actually, we have quite some other developments coming over in the pipeline. So stay tuned. This is my sharing today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Sit. Thank you. Please be seated. Now, please join me to invite our next speaker, Dr. Alfred Ng, Vice Chairman, Hong Kong Electronics Industry Council of Federation of Hong Kong Industries. Mr. Ng, please.
Thank you for the invitations, and we are very excited to share our view, the Federation of Hong Kong Industries' view on reindustrializations and advanced manufacturing. So who are we? So we are a statutory chamber, the only statutory chamber in Hong Kong, which focus on reinventing Hong Kong industries. And we actually have over 2,000 members in our chambers, and we split into 32 industrial groups representing a wide range of industries, such as automobile, chemical and biotech, electronics industry, energy and power industry, food and beverage, garment and textile, toys, watch and jewelry. Basically cover every industry in Hong Kong. So actually, what is the current status before the reindustrialization? So everyone thinks that maybe, Hong Kong, we don't have a lot of local manufacturing. Actually, last year we did a survey on our members, and surprisingly, actually, we find that actually 26.8% of our members have some local production lines in Hong Kong already, and a further 10% is considering doing some relocation of their production line back to Hong Kong from probably mainland China or other countries. So, and we realized that actually the manufacturers in more advanced production phase and more tech-driven are more likely to consider relocation to Hong Kong. Meanwhile, there's still around like 60% not considering moving back to Hong Kong, and then we asked what's the challenge they are facing. And actually 3/4 said that there is insufficient support for industrialization is the biggest problem they face, they consider. And then another 70% consider there's not enough land in Hong Kong to support the reindustrialization, and also the high cost of talents and to get it, for acquisition and for training. And finally, two-thirds things that there's lack of industrial policy support, which is very similar to the first point. And also, they feel that we need to build an ecosystem in Hong Kong. So apart from them moving their own production line back to Hong Kong, they also need a third-party support. For example, a lot of them, close to 80%, thinks that it would be nice if we get some support on third party trying to support the automation of production line. And then another 70% thinks that they may need more R&D support on the industrial design and prototyping, and also for testing and certifications. And then half of them thinks that we need more technical training provided by third party. Also, because of the land is lacking, so we may need support for logistics, centralized logistics, so that they can outsource the warehouse and logistics. So our view on the Federation view on industrialization is obviously we think that it's still very unlikely for very labor-intensive or low-value-added large-scale mass production to be moved back to Hong Kong. But on the other hand, we feel that if it has a lot of technology, high-value-added manufacturing, it could be very competitive to do some of the production in Hong Kong. And there are 4 areas that we think could be very interesting to relocate back to Hong Kong. So they are advanced electronics, food tech and processing, recycling and environmental, and biotech. So for advanced electronics, this is an area we think there's a lot of opportunities in Hong Kong because it is a natural interest to actually do chipset development in Hong Kong and mainland China. And also we have a very strong R&D background in our universities on doing semiconductor design and semiconductor development. And also Hong Kong is a place very friendly for import and export. And it is very efficient for import and export procedures. And the second one is the food technology and food processing. Actually, this is an area where Hong Kong is already traditionally very strong already, because we find that 1/3 of the local manufacturing actually is involving food processing. And we feel that these days food technology is also improving. There's quite a lot of companies doing, for example, plant-based meat development. So this definitely is an area that we can survive. Then the third one is the recycling and environmental industry. We all know that there is a strong demand for recycling capacity to achieve a circular economy in Hong Kong. And finally, for biotech, actually is an industry that we always do quite a lot of research. And also Hong Kong actually surprisingly is the second largest IPO center for biotech industry. So this is something that we should definitely look at. So then the question is, why Hong Kong? Why not other places? Why not Shenzhen and any other places? Or for example, Singapore, right? So the first thing is that Hong Kong actually is part of GBA, the Greater Bay Area, and we can access the Greater Bay Area market. So the Greater Bay Area actually consists of 9 cities from the mainland plus Hong Kong and Macau. The total population is 86.7 million, which is as big as Germany. And the GDP actually accounts for close to $2 trillion US dollars. So 2 trillion is as big as Brazil as a country or Italy as a country. And GDP per capita actually is also quite high. Is close to 23K US dollar, which is similar to Portugal. And one important thing is that the retail sales of consumer goods per annum is 556 billion US dollars. So it's a very huge consumer market that we can tap into. The second thing is, we mentioned, right, our member thinks that there is lack of land to support the reindustrialization. But last year, the Hong Kong government, SAR government, says that we will have a development plan for the northern metropolis. And we believe that with the although you said that you focus on the I&T hub, but we also believe that some of the land will be allocated for advanced industry to synergize with the R&D clients. So it is exactly what the Sharon just mentioned, how to change the R&D into commercialization. So we are quite confident that with the development of the northern metropolis, there will be more opportunities for reindustrialization. And also the government actually have a lot of support for reindustrialization. So Sharon just mentioned there's 4 centers that developed by HKSTP in Taipo, Zhongguanou, and Yunnan. And then actually the government have a reindustrialization funding scheme, which have a 2 billion fund and allowed manufacturers to subsidize the manufacturer on a matching basis to set up smart production line in Hong Kong. And each manufacturer can actually claim up to, from my understanding, 50 million Hong Kong dollars when they move the production line back to Hong Kong. And also for the talents, government has the Reindustrialization and Technology Training Program, RTTP, which allowed local enterprise to retrain their staff for reindustrializations. And finally, Hong Kong Productivity Councils actually launched an Industrial 4.0 upgrade and recognition program to recognize the companies that are doing well for smart manufacturing. And we all know that with all these initiatives, we need a lot of talents locally to support reindustrializations. And fortunately, actually Hong Kong, we have 5 top 100 universities in engineering subjects, according to the Time Higher Education World University Rankings 2022. And you can see, actually, our universities, I put, there's 5 universities: Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, University of Hong Kong, Hong Kong Polytechnic University, University of Hong Kong, and Chinese University of Hong Kong. All their ranking are very high and very comparable to very renowned world universities all over the world. So finally, actually, there's one thing that most people actually overlook. So if you are foreigners, you may not know that if you work in Hong Kong, actually you can actually have a very good work-life balance. We actually have 24 country parks in Hong Kong, with over 100 beaches and 130 hiking trails, and all those, most of those, is accessible within the city center for probably within 1.5 hours. So it's a very good place to live and very good place to work. So that's the end of my talk. Thank you,
Dr. Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you. Before we move on to the next speaker, shall we watch a video together first? Please join me to welcome Mr. Arrest Wong, Chairman of Hong Kong Smart Catering Association. Mr. Wong, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for the invitation by the Invest Hong Kong. I'm very excited to share my case with you in this afternoon. A short video, but long story. It takes about, I entered the food industry for the production, for 10 years. But for the last 2 years, we have a great breakthrough, just like the video we showed to you. With the help, we are very lucky, with the help of Hong Kong PC guy, we are the one. A very tiny kitchen. We only, the gross floor area is about 200 something, less than 300 square meters. It's very, very tiny kitchen. But it is most of the popular size of the central production kitchen in Hong Kong, although there is a lot of in the inner parks and also in some industrial buildings. But in my experience, the 3,000 square feet to 5,000 square feet occupy the most food factory area in Hong Kong. So why we are so lucky? Because 2 years ago, I think it's about 2020. Okay, we are the first one to obtain the approval for the application of the Re-industrialisation funding scheme by ITC, the Innovation and Technology Council. We are very lucky. We are not only the first approved case, and also the first approved case in food manufacturing to set up a smart production line in central kitchen. So I am still very excited. The project is almost complete. We are going to hand in our homeworks. So what I'm going to share to you today is that you know that today my capacity is also the chairman of Hong Kong Smart Catering Association. But you never heard this before because it's newly formed with some stakeholders and also some IT guys. We want to move on. We need to change. We have to set an example to the food practitioner. So how a small and tiny kitchen still can support by the government? So our association is aiming at helping the food industry to move forward to meet the new era of the smart city. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wong. Thank you. Please be seated. Our next speaker is Mr. Adrian Wong, R&D Department Director of Nanoshield Technology Limited. Mr. Wong, please.
So thank you, Invest Hong Kong, for inviting us to share our experience in the investing and also in the reindustrialization of Hong Kong. So first, let me briefly introduce our company. We are Kingsfair, a local company for over 40 years. Before 2019, we actually don't own a factory, but we have been working with over 100 factories, and we offer a virtual manufacturing platform to our customers. Basically, the idea is when there is a customer come in with an idea, it can be very brief. It can be just a sketch. We have the capability to develop the finished product for our customers, starting from sketches, design, prototyping, manufacturing, to logistics, a complete full line service to our customers. So actually, in case if you have any ideas that want to share with me, we are mostly welcomed. So with this opportunity or this business model, we have been able to touch in with a lot of different variety of products. For example, like drinkware, bakeware, storage. Maybe in your own kitchen, you may have also used products from our company. So these items, maybe you are not thinking, oh, this may be not a very high-tech product, and that is just an everyday product. But it also involves a lot of R&D and development. And we are also trying to add in some extra values by bringing in more R&D and development inside. So one idea that we have been working with local university and research institute is we try to add in a nanofiber to the water bottles or the pitchers. The benefit of the nanofiber is it is a very tiny fiber. It's 300 times smaller than your hair. So it would be able to create a very dense mesh, able to filter out the bacteria, the virus. So it is a very close match with our existing business. So we try to, using our existing customer network, try to preach them. They can buy our existing filter as a replacement parts. We can provide extra values to our customers. So with the help of the government and the science park, next year we'll be able to move into advanced manufacturing center. With this new facility, it provides a lot of suitable environment for our manufacturing site for the nanofiber. It have a good environmental control, it have a good site logistic control. So it's a very suitable case for our development. So for the reindustrialization of Hong Kong, we did see there's a lot of good opportunities for us. We have received a lot of government support, for example, like the reindustrialization fundings, the cash rebate schemes, and also the talent hub from government. Even though the company size still need to contribute a major portion of the whole investment, but it is a good sign to show that the government support and give us more faith to invest back in Hong Kong. The next point is, in Hong Kong, such a small place, we have a lot of good universities and also a lot of good research institutes. We have been working closely with different universities to try to bring in their research results and bring it to become the finished product. Next is, when we are trying to preach our existing customers, saying, oh, we are manufacturing nanofiber in Hong Kong, and try to sell them to use the nanofiber filter in the product, they actually, realize that they actually believe in the name of Made in Hong Kong. They believe in us providing a good quality and good product for them. So Made in Hong Kong is a very good image for us to sell, trying to preach to our customers. And of course, in our case, nanofiber is just a component. We are not trying to make the whole finished product, the whole bottle in Hong Kong. It's just a part. So we still need to ship our product, our nanofiber, back to China for the whole finished case product. We have the Bay Area support, which is a couple hours of travel. Then we would be able to networking and linking to a very strong manufacturing network. So here's the opportunities that I see. But however, there are also a lot of challenges during our process of setting up or reindustrialization or setting up the production line back in Hong Kong. For us, for trying to make a manufacturing line of nanofiber, we see that there are a lot of different types of industry in Hong Kong. For us, nanofiber is not a very big one. We need to source our own solvent, we need to source our own chemicals in small quantity. We didn't come up with the quantity or the critical mass to make the sourcing more favorable. And the next one is, still, there are not many sectors. There are lack of support from the industry. For example, when we are trying to do a redecoration of our site, when we try to contact different contractor of decoration, even though they have a lot of experience in handling the office or lab decoration, but they don't have any manufacturing site experience. So this may mean a longer lead time, extra cost, and extra time. Third is, for us, our nanofiber manufacturing, it is highly technical. But in Hong Kong, we cannot find too much technical guy to help us for the manufacturing process. We have to send the team over to our supplier to have a lengthy training. That is a very expensive cost for us, especially under this pandemic situation. So even though with all the challenges we have, we still believe there's a very good opportunity for us, because in Hong Kong, we have a good IP protection. We will be able to have a strong manufacturing network back in China. And with the ever-growing China middle class and the willingness of the young food to spend. We are trying to bring in foreign brands back to China so that to preach them, to enlarge our sales network, and at the same time developing our own brand. So thanks a lot for the opportunity for me to present our company. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Wong. Thank you. And now we are going to move on to the panel discussion. May I please introduce our moderator, Mr. Benjamin Wong, Head of Transport, Infrastructure and Advanced Manufacturing of Invest Hong Kong. Mr. Wong, please. So may I please invite Benjamin and all our speakers to proceed to the stage for our panel discussion. Welcome, everyone. So before we start our panel discussion, shall we pose for a group picture together? Okay. Say cheese. Okay, yes, mobile phone, that's very important. Just bear with us for a second, please, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I'll pass it over to you, Benjamin. Thank you.
Thank you, Leslie. Very nice to have you all over here, and I think you all know that we've got a very good combination of speakers. Sharon representing the Hong Kong Science and Technology part, leading the technology efforts over here in Hong Kong. And then we have the A-team. We've got Alfred, Arist, and Adrian. Yes, so all with the A's. Now, Alfred actually did a very comprehensive presentation on the advanced manufacturing scene over here in Hong Kong, representing the Federation of Hong Kong Industry, and also is the Chief Technology Officer of Suga Electronics. Arist, representing the Smart Catering Association, and also the founder of CK1.
Yes.
And then Adrian, also representing NanoShields, you know, new material filtration, and also new talents of AMC, of Hong Kong Science and Technology Park. So different perspective, different elements. I've taken some notes from Alfred's presentation. 26.8% of the surveyees have operations here in Hong Kong, and then another 10% considering relocating back into Hong Kong. Obviously, this is quite encouraging, as Alfred said, quite surprising, because for those who know Hong Kong well enough, the Hong Kong light industry manufacturing moved it back into mainland China for a few decades already. So it seems like it's got a little trend of coming back into Hong Kong, probably in time also for our advanced manufacturing efforts. And the way I put it always is that companies, they are investing in Hong Kong. It is voting for Hong Kong with their own money. So I think it's very positive. Without further ado, I would like to turn into the discussion, maybe with Sharon first. The ecosystem of advanced manufacturing, it involves a lot of stakeholders, a lot of different technologies. Now, Science Park, actually, Sharon has given a very good presentation on what they are doing now. But what about the ecosystem? How the ecosystem Hong Kong Inc. is supporting the industry, please?
Okay, sure. Actually, when we're talking about manufacturing in Hong Kong, sometimes we are talking, we got a triangle in Hong Kong, you know. So Science Park, we are providing facilities and the premises. And we got the Hong Kong PC, which we have a lot of support of the manufacturing technology from their perspective, from their hard working with the industry. And also we got the base of the triangle is from the government support. And ever since recent years, we got a lot fundings to support the manufacturing. RFS is quite large a batch of money to support the manufacturing from, actually it's never happened in Hong Kong before. So there are a lot supporting. So we should say, other than the kind of the triangle, I think we got some challenges, of course. Young people, so we are promoting the manufacturing. So if you can see from our video, the AMC, it is not, we try to alter the concept in the young people that they think the manufacturing is like dirty, like a lot hardworking, sweating. So this is not. So future manufacturing is we're not using the menu, we're using our brain, our talents. So this is what we're promoting, and we try to realize it in Hong Kong. Yeah.
Thank you, Karen. Sharon, yes, we are turning from manual production to knowledge-based, technology-enabled production. And I think that is also very suitable for Hong Kong's very small space and also quite high-cost environment. Now, I would like to turn to the A team, because you represent different segments of the industry. How you see the opportunities of advanced manufacturing here in Hong Kong, and how best to capture it. Maybe I'll start with Alfred, please.
So definitely, I think for the Federation, I think we believe in Hong Kong. We always believe in Hong Kong and think that there's a lot of opportunities. And actually, Science Park is a very good example. Right? 20 years ago, when Science Park first established, I think we heard a lot of rumors, not rumors, saying people say here says that, okay, what the heck? What are you guys are thinking? There's no way Hong Kong is going to succeed in high-tech R&D, right? So I think in Cantonese, they always said high-tech, high-yeah. So no one believed in it. But now I think we all know just the presentation. There's over 20,000, close to 20,000 workers, and we even the industry, we feel it, right? So we always visit to Hong Kong Science Park to look for new technologies, new ideas, and new investment opportunities. And we think that this is the first step. So now we have an ecosystem for R&D. The next step will be commercialization, right? So we believe that for Hong Kong, in order for Hong Kong to be the I&T hub, international I&T hub, as planned by the central government for us, right, we definitely need to have some at least prototyping and advanced manufacturing in Hong Kong, right? Because in order to realize, commercialize the product, you need to show this product is able to be manufactured efficiently. So that I think this is what we see. And also for Hong Kong, we have a very good IP protection law. And I think a lot of international customers, they trust the Hong Kong law system, legal system. And also they trust the way that how we work, we can protect the IP of our customers. So sometimes they will think that, okay, if I manufacture in mainland, they will have a concern whether even the product hasn't been out, there may be a copycat already there, outside there in mainland. So maybe if we can consider not doing every manufacturing in Hong Kong, but the core technology part is being manufactured in Hong Kong for IT protection purpose, there's a high value and high chance to succeed. And this is what we believe Hong Kong can contribute as an I&T hub.
Thank you, Alfred. Alfred mentioned about commercialization. I think for R&D, we all know is the phase of burning money. Commercialization is the period where you are making back the money. Yes. And Aris,
yes.
What about from the food industry catering perspective?
Yeah. What do we want? Eat food. It is the keep human life, human being alive. What I see is that, oh sorry, I'm very excited. Is the health and wellness products, especially for the aged population like me. And the low sugar and high fibrous diets, and also the microwavable and also air fryable ready to eat food are promising demand during the pandemic. So what I see is that the local manufacturing of food made in Hong Kong become more and more important. But how can we make it more advanced, more safe? It depends on the technology. So I think this is a very good chance for food industry to look forward to adopt new technology, new machine. So I learned a word smart, okay, smart manufacturing, smart production line. But the difference between automatic and smart, because in the mindset of the, we can say we have the tray, okay, the food tray. They say, oh, just like buying some automatic machine or automatic packing machine is like, is it that smart or it's not smart enough? But you have to move on. The Industrial 4.0 will teach us and teach me to know what means by smart manufacturing or smart production. So I learn, I'm learning a lot. And also the retailer and also the food grocers, they're selling foods through e-commerce. This is the change of the buying habit. The consumer begin to feel comfortable to buy things online. But who makes the food for them? Import is a way. But how about we make our own food to supply the locals or to export? So it depends, okay, it requires a production kitchen, or we have a chance to make a shared central kitchen. What means by shared central kitchen? It means a central kitchen is not particularly for one food products. They are tailor-made for different kinds of food products, just like meat, pastry, dessert, all of things. So we can have the chance to use the factory at our own time slot. Maybe I work overnight. Okay, I can rent the kitchen during the night time with a lower rental rate. So what I see is the food market in Hong Kong should maintain and upkeep in a way that we adopt advanced manufacturing and Industrial 4.0. Thank you.
Thank you, Aris. I think it's a very a good manifestation of how technology combines with our daily cooking and food art craft. Because I think actually cooking is more like an art than science, but then
an art and also a need, a basic need. I always mention basic need.
Yes. And Adrian, what about you from your own perspective of this?
Yeah, for the advanced manufacturing, what we have been taking advantage of is our close relationship with the customers. So when we try to bring in the nanofiber, it's a new tech. There is not much existing product in the market. When we try to preach them, they believe in us and they believe in our ability to do what we have claimed to achieve. So our relationship with the customer is very important for the new technology development. And another aspect is, once there's a new technology, it means there's a lot of the IP or new know-how involved. And we respect the law very much, and they believe in us to be able to keep our own IP. That is one very important. We do have concern in case if for the nanofiber we manufactured in China, we do, because nanofiber is basically a chemical formulation. In case if it has been leaked out, the others may be able to copy it pretty easily. So IP protection is very crucial. And another aspect is when we try to search for existing patent, we're able to access to different patent office, no matter in Chinese, in English, we can understand it firsthand instead of going through a translation. That is also another very important aspect for us. So I also want to add a little bit, when we are trying to bring in our customers' brand to China, what we found is the Chinese buyers, they definitely will try to search, oh, what is the comment online about this product? And if there's a good frame, it helps us a lot in trying to bring the brand into China, of course. But still, with this frame, we still need to add some modifications, like some China style, some Chinese packaging, maybe a CNY film. This type of aspect is what we understand and able to do, so they can also bring to our advantage.
Thank you, Adrian. Adrian then actually earlier also mentioned about the legal perspective of the advanced manufacturing. Just for your information, for the next couple weeks here in Hong Kong, we have the legal week and also arbitration week. So if you are interested in this aspect, you could talk to us. We'll let you have more information on those. Now, we talked about the low-hanging fruit, the easily understood and easily grabbed opportunities. What about the untapped opportunities? These days we talk about Northern Metropolis a lot, and it's got a technology aspect, and also it's got more space than other parts of Hong Kong. And also, Sharon would know that very well, the Shenzhen Hong Kong Innovation and Technology, Technology and Science Innovation Cooperation Zone. It's a very long name. So I think this is this could present another aspect and longer in the longer time frame, another potential opportunities for that. And what do you think of it? Do you think the Northern Metropolis, or if you push it further out, Greater Bay Area, would that be presenting another longer term opportunities? Sharon?
And how to say, you know, from science part, what we talk about from Satin is going to move to, for example, Asian, they from science part move to Jiangguanou. And we suppose this is a step by step. So it's very important for the researcher, like to keep some, as mentioned, Alfred ever mentioned, you got to keep something critical or very important things maybe within the within your reach, you know. So you won't want to go too far from the research center, maybe directly into, everyone can go directly into China, but why they choose to stay Hong Kong, we suppose we have some of the strengthness comparing to North or even China, but we are not competing with them. Yeah, you know, our research base in Hong Kong, we have a lot of great universities, local universities, and we have a lot works, research from the universities. So we want to commercialize it locally, and then China or even go to other part of the world is like our next time or next step expansion. Yeah, you know, we're going to make it big, but that doesn't mean we are not staying Hong Kong. Yeah, this is, yeah. So this is what we try to support. Yeah.
Thank you. The A team, Alfred?
Okay, so I think Northern Metropolis is a very interesting way, a new way for Hong Kong government. So I think in the past, right, Hong Kong government's planning, for example, for the railway, they will say that, okay, whether the area already have enough residents before they start considering to build a railway station there, right? But the Northern Metropolis, they are now already have a plan to build a railway, the infrastructure needed to support the development. So this is, from our perspective, it is extremely important because for industry to succeed, we need to have some planning. So we need to know that, okay, in that area, the land is probably allocated to advanced electronics, or then another area maybe will be allocated for food processing, and another maybe is for the biotech industry. So I think this is how, if you look at overseas, right, this is how technology parks work, right? So they gather all the whole ecosystem in that area so that we can have the local supply chains, and then everyone is working in the same industry so that they can brainstorm, they can talk to each other and create business. So I think this is very good opportunities for us and for the government to show the industry they're serious about it. They will listen to our voice and have some planning and do the support so that we can actually survive and push the agenda forward. Right? So tomorrow, right, is the address policy address. So we are looking forward to that.
For the yeah, you mentioned about the survey. Actually, land is one of the item, one of the difficulties of doing that in Hong Kong. So that would be one major issue. Aris and Adrian. Aris.
Me first. Thank you. About the northern metropolis, for me, it's too far away. But for near things, and have you, do you have the idea that the Sharon shared the PowerPoint to us? We have an AMC1 already in Dragonor, but now we are planning another AMC2 for food. It's covering about 140 1,000 square meters. It's and the biggest food manufacturing center in Hong Kong. We are looking at in 5 years or 6 years, around something. So I think this is the, I'm also very excited to looking forward to this advanced manufacturing center for food in a few years. But for the immediate need, because you know that the pandemic hamper food industry and also the whole economic of Hong Kong a lot. But how to survive, just I said, the central kitchen, the shared kitchen, help the startup or the existing food manufacturer to make food to us. But who store the food and who do the logistics? The cold chain and also associated with cold storage is immediately in Hong Kong to customize our daily life. So I think, the northern metropolis is too far from me. But for the food industry, for the sake of the food industry, we need place to house our, or maybe share that cold storage and also the cold chain logistic development. This is my will. Thank you.
Thank you, Aris. Yes, the supply chain of it obviously has been a very big topic in the past few years.
Actually, for the North Metropolis area, we already have our manufacturing network over there. We have over 100 factories working with us on the manufacturing aspect. And as Dr. have mentioned, there's a very big population and a big middle class. So we also see there's a big opportunity for retail. That's why we also tap into that area for bringing in our customers' brand back to China. So there's our way of the future business.
Thank you, Adrian. Now, I've got actually one more small topic. Actually, it's not a small topic. But now is 3 already, but judging from the fact that we started not really sharp at 2 o'clock, so I was still maybe 5-10 minutes from Roy's panel. Now, challenges. Obviously, everything's got some challenges, and I don't want to just keep talking about the rosy pictures of advanced manufacturing. From my layman perspective, I see at least one issue, which actually earlier presentation also touched that point, is on the talent side. In terms of the availability of talents in the advanced manufacturing, then how do you think that we could address this issue? Maybe Sharon?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so people talking about they are very difficult to hire right people to do, no matter in manufacturing or in R&D, even in Science Park. A lot of companies talking about that. So if talking about the challenges, talent to advanced manufacturing is, of course, is the most challenge for us. But and sometimes I talk to the young people and they don't know what is manufacturing, or they don't know what is re-industrialization. They even don't know the word. And then when I talk to the industrialists, like Adrian, like the other one, like we're working very close for the AMC project, and we got a belief so that we got to make something happen. Like we set up the factory, we kick the machine running, and then people see that, especially the young people see that, and they believe that, so that we are building the talent pool step by step. So we cannot move there, we cannot get to there in one day, but we have to move day by day, step by step. So this is what we kind of like our responsibility, yeah. So to tackle the challenge, yeah.
Thank you, sure. Alfred?
I think we need to look at the problem both short term and not long term, right? We all know that short term we have we need a lot of not neighbors but like smart people to support the reindustrialization, and because of the local population, we probably need to attract more talents overseas. So in the short term, but in the long term, I think we always want to have more local supplies. So there's several things the government may need to consider. So one is how to encourage people to give births. So our birth rate is the lowest in the world, right? So that is not sustainable, right? So another thing is how to attract more students to study STEM subjects. So on science subjects. So we shift the percentage towards more to STEM educations. And then we try to encourage people to give birth, maybe give tax incentive or even give money to people, right? So, and solve the housing problem. So I think all these we need to look at. And also, and another point is like, even we attract the overseas talents, we should try to make them as Hong Kongers, right? So, so they are second generation. We wish them to be part of the Hong Kong population, not that the second generation will leave Hong Kong and then go to another country, right? So I think all these, the government need to have serious consideration. So for us to support our industry. So that's my take on this point.
Thanks, Alfred. Addressing the issue from the roots, right? Higher birth rate. Arist?
So I agree, high birth rate. I have to tell my daughter. Okay. So for the F&B business in Hong Kong, actually it offers a lot of job opportunities and also do a great constitution in the GDP. So, but how we can attract more youngsters or the younger ones to like food industry? What we need is to promote more on the, because you know that there's eat green or veggie and also special tailor-made diet for the dietaholic, and then the plant-based meat and also culture meat and urban farming. This is all technology related to food, but we need the youngsters. We have to attract the youngster to participate in this kind of things, so that we can support the whole industry. And also the universities in Hong Kong, just like PolyU, they have the Research Institute for Future Food. It's very attractive. They are now forming a lot of researchers on how we can make foods in other ways. So I think the government support, local food industry, change the mindset to attract more youngsters to join the force, so we can continue to make Hong Kong as a food paradise. Thank you.
Thank you. Adrian?
So from my side, as a company perspective, we are trying to attract talent when they just started joining universities. For example, like when they're only year one, we will already hire intern to let them train in the actual environment. So they will encourage them to keep in the industry, because most of them may be from different, maybe they are from chemical, they are from biochem. After they graduate, maybe they just left the industry and go to something else. That's a waste of talent. So that's why we are trying to encourage them, let them understand what is the real working environment, so that to let them stay in what they have studied, to fully utilize what they have learned. And of course, another aspect is continuous learning is encouraged in our company. Like me, I'm a mechanical engineer, but nanofiber involve a lot of chemicals and biomaterials. So that is what I learned in the process. So these are the two aspects that we are trying to tackle with the talent.
Thank you. So I think on the talent side, obviously, we need to do it from different perspective, a lot of cross-pollination of different kind of industries and also background. Now, I think I will ask each of the panelists to maybe give a 1-minute message on how best we could embrace the advanced manufacturing opportunity. Sharon?
1 minute. And how to say it? We always, Alfred mentioned it's people don't believe at Hong Kong you got to do R&D. So 20 years ago, Science Park. So we would say people now might not believe in manufacturing in Hong Kong, but we suppose we got to do something, make it happen. People see that, people believe that, and people get used to that. So this is what we want to, but this is what we are working for. Yeah, thank you.
Alfred?
Yeah, so I think to echo Sharon's message, right? So I think definitely we see that Hong Kong can become international I&T hub, right? In order for it to succeed, I think advanced manufacturing is very important part of the story. So we do believe that it will happen. So I guess for audience, right, should we seriously consider, right, the development and try to see whether you should invest in Hong Kong.
Thank you.
Thank you. 1 minute. So I want to ask one question. What make human beings survive except not only food? What do we need? Water, air. Water, air, food make you survive. Okay? But one more thing I want to share with you today, the last 1 minute. We need sleep, S-L-E-E-P. But a new definition for these 5 characters. S is the safety, including food safety and industrial safety, as we have a lot of injury camps and also become the prime important of the food safety, the S, okay? And then the second letter is L, means labor. We need labor, no matter young or old or the newborn. And the EEP, what do you mean by EEP? With the advanced manufacturing, we can make it efficient and effective production. So the sleep, I give it to you today. It's a smart sleep or sleep smart. Thank you.
Thank you, Arist. Adrian?
So maybe from my aspect, a little bit of experience sharing. I've been working for R&D for like decades. And one of the most satisfactory experiences when you are walking around, you see someone using your products that you spend a lot of brain developing. That is really satisfactory. So I encourage, don't just go to the finance or the housing building aspect. Working in the industry is also can give you a lot of personal satisfaction and can also help in Hong Kong too. So,
thank you, Adrian. I think I myself actually enjoyed the panel very much, very down to earth, and actually a lot of different sharing from different backgrounds. Shall we give them another a round of applause, please? Thank you.
Thank you, Benjamin, and our panelists. Thank you for a fruitful discussion and sharing. Thank you. And now we're going to turn to the second panel discussion. The panel will focus on the technology aspects, the use of innovative technologies and commercialization opportunities, etc. Likewise, I would like to invite all our speakers to make a 5 to 10 minute presentation first. Shall we start by our moderator for the second panel, Mr. Roy Chen, Partner of Public Sector Consulting, PricewaterhouseCoopers. Mr. Chen, please.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm Roy. I don't want to spend more time for my presentation. I want to give more time for the speaker to present what I thought about our manufacturing and opportunity and also the challenge, especially for commercialization. Today, I think I want to just give the backdrop about the AM, what is the challenge, opportunity of AM and commercialization. Hong Kong, I think many speakers, I think they already mentioned that Hong Kong have a very strong primary research. We have a very strong university. But what I'm missing is we are very difficult to convert our R&D into the products. Commercialization, prototyping, manufacturing. As compared with Singapore, 30% of the GDP actually come from manufacturing. Hong Kong, only 0% come from manufacturing. This is our shortcoming. So that's why many people mentioned why and how come we have this issue. Land, exactly, land is our key issue. And so that's why many people, many speakers today, they mention long-term metropolis. I think it's actually a very good initiative or infrastructure to unlock the opportunity, especially for AM and commercialization. Actually, I'm currently is advisor for the government about the long-term metropolis, including the economic positioning and financial. And I think long-term metropolis is not only focused in the R&D, and especially for the Suntin Tetapole and the NTN New Town, the positioning is the downstream R&D. Lok Ma Chau Loop, they are positioning as the R&D hub, but for the Suntin and NTN, it's actually give opportunity and provide the land for commercialization, especially prototyping or small-scale manufacturing, also very close to Shenzhen, so that's why they can provide we call the Hong Kong Shenzhen full R&D ecosystem. Hopefully we can want to do. And also, apart from the manufacturing, and we also have we call the Lau Fau Shan area is actually provide, we call the modern service to support the Qianhai, Nanshan, also the Suntin Tetapole and NTN New Town. So that's why what we think the long-term metropolis actually is an opportunity for the Hong Kong for these 20 years for the AM and for the commercialization. But one of the key topics I think today for panel we want to discuss is the how to achieve this vision, policy, or you want to free land. I think it's a very key discussion today. And I don't want to spend more time for my presentation. I want to speak more time for the speaker. And I think we can talk more about policy and another thing for long-term metropolis in the panel discussion. Thank you. I welcome any other speaker. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chen. Thank you. May we please invite our next speaker, Mr. Samson Soon, General Manager, Smart Manufacturing Division, Hong Kong Productivity Council. Mr. Soon, please.
Okay. Thank you very much. Today I'm delighted to share with you about the innovation technology to reindustrialization. Before I start, I would like to let you know the position of HKPC, why we're doing a lot in commercialization, because for the basic research, you know, it's mostly done by the university. Hong Kong PC start from applied research, product development, technology transfer, smart manufacturing and services. So actually cover most of the process going through the research to the product development and sales to market. Today, I'm so happy that we have a science park to provide the land infrastructure, ITC to provide the funding, and HKPC provide the support. So in the next slide, you will see some funding structure, but I don't want to talk too much, but actually it attracts people to use this funding to support the production. More important, I want to share with you that we are happy to know different industry already or start or establish the production facility in Hong Kong. Like the first one, electrospinning from a nanoshield. They start to produce this kind of fiber material in Hong Kong, which they didn't do it before, as Andrew shared with you. And also the egg production, we built a whole factory in Tai Po, doing a lot of egg production. For the construction industry, we also attract some company to do the friction welding for the bar. Food, of course, one of the speakers already tell you that a lot of food company start to produce their products in Hong Kong, maybe due to the brand issue, due to the convenience in the location. So we see we have different industry coming back or established production, advanced material, food manufacturing, construction, and more is coming. I don't want to talk too much, but you will see a next speaker will talk more about the production in Hong Kong for the electronic assembly. One other thing I want to share with you that using the I4.0, we successfully digitally transformed a listed company, CarShow, to let the manager see what's the daily production data that they can control and make the productivity improve, which of course turn into the profit of the company. Apart from the I4.0 in their listed company, even some electronic company like Trio, they use this kind of I4.0, I say data visualization or some data analysis to enhance the productivity and production. So some people will think why we produce in Hong Kong or how advanced manufacturing help them. Actually, I4.0 is one of the tools they can use to support their productivity. So even the land and labor is expensive in Hong Kong, they can cover the cost. Also, some successful cases I want to share with you. Maybe you find Chinese medicine is quite traditional industry, but they still need technology to support them. Not only the production, but also the packaging. We developed a special packaging line for them to produce the product continuously and in large volume. So this kind of cases, we also want to share with you that during the reindustrialization, we not only focus on production, but the packaging and the logistics support is also crucial. Last but not least, I also want to share with you, today we do a lot of digitization or traceability system for the automotive component or medical production. As the data is so important nowadays, we start to support the production line to get all the processing data for making the product. In the past time, you just let them know the pass code or data code for each part. But now we need to know the processing data, the injection time, injection speed, or the welding process to see what's happened in case it's failed. So this kind of data monitor system is now using widely in the industry to support them. During the reindustrialization, we find this is very important. And of course, the next cases, we're doing some product development on traditional medicine. So you see, actually, now we cover a lot of work from product development, production, packaging, data analysis, and I4.0. So there's a very short summary for my part. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Sun. Thank you. Please be seated. Our next speaker is Dr. Lucas Ho, Chief Technology Officer, Hong Kong Applied Science and Technology Research Institute. Mr. Ho, please.
Okay, so today, I will talk about the supporting technologies. So first of all, what is S3? Well, actually, in the previous slide, there's the word S3 there is the Applied Research Serving Center. So basically, what we're doing is like this. Okay, we are working on what we call the applied deep technology projects. So basically, it's different from the university. University will be doing the invention. We are doing the more, advanced part, but still, all our projects that go with the government organization or the private company, we need to be down to earth and deliverable and be workable. So that is the one that later on it will be, after a few steps, will be transferred through the commercialization to be the end products. And of course, we are working on the different types of the technology. The size of S3 is around 500 researchers, and with more than half with master degrees, and I think 1/3 is with the PhD degree. So we're working on different areas. And well, this is one of the classification according to the application. So we have the smart city, basically is the infrastructure projects, fintechs, digital health, which it is not talking about making of the new medicines, but for example, something like the capsule, endoscopy that you take photograph inside your body, or the infrastructure to transfer the data in a senior citizen's house, those kind of things. And also, one of them, of course, related to today is the reindustrialization and intelligent manufacturing. So basically, it's to make the machines work cleverer, more AI stuff, okay, or other plans better, so that is to increase about the productivities. And also we have the, well, it's not many people know about this. We have actually quite a good teams working on the IC design, the semiconductor part, including the improving about the power supply, like the batteries, or what we call the third generation, IC design. And the later, newly active one just in the previous year is the metaverse. So we're working on the linking up with the different video, audio, or other technologies. So those are the things that, we work on. But of course, to be honest, no matter what are the applications, including the intelligent manufacturing, there are quite a lot of common components. You can actually see from the previous panel and the previous talks that, we are talking about a lot of data. So how the data generate, we need to have a lot of sensors. So that's why we have the IoT sensors, the different automatic one, the smart meter, the one about the human body temperature, pressure, all these guys, you automatically collect all those data. But after you collect all this data, well, you need to have an accurate and transfer, path. So that's why we need the 5G communication. Now, to be honest, actually right now, 5G is a very, very important component. You look at the YouTube videos, well, if you have suddenly a 1 second lag, you feel very uncomfortable. But still, it's okay, you can still watch the video. But you can think about it like this, if it's the manufacturing machines working, coordinating with different components, and also the cars, on the street, if you have a 0.1 delay, this will be disastrous. So that's why actually for all the systems, 5G, accurate, high reliable communication is very important. So after you get the data, still how the data being presented. AR, VR. AR, VR is actually very important in the manufacturing, because what you need to do is like this, is you have the different places, and when the people look in the scene, he is able to analyze the scene and then provide some data that is from the background to the AR, VR glasses. So in this case, a lot of process can be improved and much better. But of course, all these, including a lot that I haven't mentioned, is you need quite a lot of intelligence. Why the AR, VR glass is able to see this one, this is the chair, this is the desk, something like this one? You need some AI analysis to do it. And in fact, every process of, manufacturing or other kind of activities, if you need some kind of the inferencing, calculation, planning, scheduling, this is where the AI can come in. So whatever you have analyzed, the AI can be applied in many ways. So this is very important. And of course, in particular for the case of the manufacturing, the digital twin is very important technologies. You have some physical systems like a machine. I want to make it as something like a computer game in a computer, so that I can play around with it and to see, if I want this machine to have this kind of motion to produce this kind of product, is it feasible? Is there any problems? So you try to do the simulation before you do the real things. So that's why digital twin is a very important stuff. And edge device. Well, a lot of analysis. We have so many data, we mentioned about it. Well, of course, a common approach is to send all data to the cloud and do all the AI calculation. But to be honest, this may be too demanding. So that's why you need to have quite a lot of device, what we call the edge device, is something like a small box, so that at the point you collect out the data, they will be doing some kind of the, first step calculation, first step intelligence processing first, before you send back to the cloud. And so those are very important, because all these are small machines. You need to have a very efficient in power, fast in processing, and a lot of design consideration. So those are the technology we need. And finally, as I mentioned, a lot of this kind of the data collection are from the camera. We take the photograph. So in particular, the image processing are all those. So all those are essential components of the intelligent manufacturing, but actually you can think that it's all different applications will be there. And so I don't want to go through this one by one. Actually all these are the previous projects in S3 that we are working on. Maybe I just try to, because of the time, as I mentioned, I also agree that it's more time for the discussion spectrum. So maybe I just want to talk about one is the AR/VR inspection. So this is the one that actually is in this COVID time. We have our partner. So what we do is like this is, we make a system for them. So previously, they need to send their engineer, fly to another city outside Hong Kong to do some, the data center machine, maintenance. But right now with our system, they can have their engineers in Hong Kong look inside of the big TV and then cooperate with the technicians overseas. And then in this case, they can share the information and do the maintenance much faster. And of course, the AR/VR glass that the overseas technicians are wearing is able to pull down all the information from their company's database and whatever. So you can see from here like this is a system. Well, of course, the main character is the AR, VR glasses, but actually it needs to link up with the AI, analytics, make sure the fast communication, for example, like 5G, and also a lot of different components. So in this case, okay, this actually also reflecting the other examples that sometimes we have a major technology to be deployed in an application. But in fact, at the same time, you need to link up with quite a lot of different technologies. So the application of this new technology in reindustrialization or smart manufacturing is not that straightforward. It is more like a research process. Okay. So that's why if we want to have to summarize the information, what I will most important say is like this, it is a combination of a multidisciplinary research R&D activities. And it's very important. So we need to have the link up. And of course, we know about what is the smart manufacturing environment. So that's why we can see that we have a lot of, those plants, okay, or the sites with the smart manufacturing. But from there, we get all the information, and then we'll see what are the correct technology that are able to, apply to them. And of course, the goal is, well, quite common. Streamline the operation more efficiently. And well, another one is kinder to the environment. So that's why it's all this ESG and the other environmental issue. So we try to make our system much better. And so in this case, what we can say is like this is, for the, a lot of different technologies supporting the smart manufacturing, they are there. But if you want to make a system to really improve, it needs, actually it's quite our research activities. So that's why it still needs a lot of work, link up with different experts from different areas, so the whole, ecosystem work together, and then we'll be able to arrive in many, many different solutions. Okay, so this is my presentation here. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. He. Thank you. Please be seated. Please join me to welcome our next speaker, Mr. Roberto Leon, Managing Director, Neurotech Limited. Mr. Leon, please.
First of all, good afternoon, and thank you to InvestHK to invite me this afternoon, sharing a few minutes about my company. Basically, Neurotech is a new company. We started already quite 10 years ago in Hong Kong. It's electronic manufacturing services. So we used to produce, and we are still actually producing in China and Vietnam. But since the beginning, we thought we need to be different about our activity because we have a lot of competition, especially here in Asia. Still today, we produce a lot of products that are the ones related to the home applications like video phones, security systems, and we export to Europe. Our products are quite complex. They're not very complex, but they're quite complex to produce. We have more than 120 final products, so they are not only electronics assembly, but also mechatronics assemblies, final products that go directly to the market. They are quite complex because we have more than 500 components that needs to produce one device. And we are not only looking for or producing very big production, very big batches, like usually in Asia our competitor does, but we are also able to produce small batch productions. How to be different? So since 2017, quite a long time ago already, we started to think about what to do in order to be different. And so we, first of all, invest for sure in China, in mainland China. It was 100% the production at the time. We invest in Vietnam, and thanks to the Hong Kong ecosystem, I will to say, we invest a lot in Hong Kong. So today we are also able to produce in Hong Kong around 30% of our production. How? We produce electronic mechatronic products in Hong Kong. Simply, I don't want to repeat why Hong Kong, because Hong Kong, there are many reasons why in Hong Kong. Even if still today a lot of people ask me, I am Italian, a lot of people, especially in Europe, ask me why in Hong Kong. The way to produce in Hong Kong is basically we use a lot what Hong Kong PC suggests us. We knew very well the product, and thanks to their support, we were able to transfer the process that before was made manually in China in a semi-automatic way in Hong Kong. And we realized the hole that is our line that we have in Yuen Long now. This line is using the image technology, is using collaborative robots. Basically, we are talking about 44 meters length with 14 robots or robotic islands, where we final assemble these visitor phones. For us, for our experience, the way to produce from a classic way with a lot of manpower to intelligent, flexible, and profitable, much more profitable way in Hong Kong was simply applying the technology. So intelligent robots, artificial intelligence, sensors, IoT, and big data. All these concepts, I don't have to explain what they are because there are many other people much more expert than me to introduce this. But basically, this is the bridge that we used to land in this moment in Yuen Long. The line is 1.5 faster than before. We can produce more than one product, and to change the product, even if you're talking about automatic assembly, is quite fast. We reduce 60% in manpower, and also very importantly, we reduce the space, because obviously in Hong Kong this is a pain, all right? I sell this way to produce mainly for the quality aspect, obviously. What we invest a lot is not only in hardware and time and energy, developing the machines and the robots and this and that, but we spend a lot of money on a system able and capable to manage vertically from the client to the supplier, and also horizontally, because we need to manage a lot of data about the production, about the materials, about the process that is involved on this job. Let me tell you that if we didn't invest in how to manage the data, in any case, we were a loser. So we need to, how to say, know with live data what is going on quite easily without asking and without making phone calls. By ourselves, we can today check the situation of the materials. We can check the planning of the production. We can also share with the customer directly that usually is not close to us, is far away. So thanks to the digitalization of our system, we can connect with them, reducing the disadvantage of the geographical distance. Thanks to what we did, okay, we got some award in the past years. We have some major exposure as well. And now, most importantly, we land in DT Hub. So we land as a tenant of Science Technology Park, first with the office that we're already there in Tseung Wan O. And after the Chinese New Year, we will also move the production, and today we have in Yuen Long in the AMC. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Leon. Thank you. Thank you. Now we're going to move on to our next speaker, Ms. Cindy Chan, Head of Public Affairs, Smartmore Corporation Limited. Ms. Chan, please.
Good afternoon. First of all, thank you, Invest Hong Kong, for inviting. I will be discussing the role of smart manufacturing in the era of reindustrialization. Okay, I will show you a slide. What are these images? Can you see them or read them? In fact, they are images of characters alphabets, numbers, marked at the four corners of a vibration motor. So, where can we find this piece of vibration motor? In fact, it's very easy. Everybody got one. It's within your smartphone. So these are really tiny size of small components inside the smartphone. It's just like the size of our little fingernail. So there are altogether more than 100 pieces of these tiny things inside the smartphone. So imagine you were the smartphone manufacturer. What type of challenges are you facing? Of course, precision, be precise, speed, and also a lot of challenges in the business environment. And I summarized them in 5 points. First is agility. For example, labor shortage and also supply chain instability during the pandemic and post-pandemic era. Second, we are looking for high quality of products. And also, different system integration problem and data security. Fourth is ecology establishment. What does it mean by ecology establishment? Is how the manufacturer connected or collaborated with different stakeholders within the supply chain. Last is sustainability. Of course, we are talking about ESG compliance and also information analysis for further enhancement of the manufacturing process. So, manufacturers are looking for precise, flexible, and adaptable solution. So what is it? It's smart manufacturing. Smart manufacturing, in fact, is the core of Industry 4.0, which is a concept, okay? Smart manufacturing itself is the integration between physical technologies and digital technologies in order to achieve the intelligentization of the production process, and it will greatly lift human productivity. As you can see, the diagram in the bottom is about how smart manufacturing corresponds to different stages of Industry 4.0 model. So I make it short. Basically, smart manufacturing covers digitalization, networking, but the most important thing is intelligentization. I will talk about intelligentization later on, okay? So we are now moving into a window of opportunity for smart manufacturing. From 1940s automation to 1970 informatization, and right now we're entering the era of intelligentization. We checked some of the data, okay? Global smart manufacturing market size was almost $250 billion in 2021. And within the next 7 years, there will be a 13.1% compound annual growth rate. We will up to almost $660 billion for this global smart manufacturing market. So right now, I'm telling you what in fact is actually intelligentization. So we commercialize the product into a smart manufacturing architecture. Our company is SmartMore. We are focusing in smart manufacturing and digital innovation. The core product is called SmartMore Fimo. What actually it is, the new generation smart manufacturing infrastructure is the algorithm behind the super brain of smart manufacturing. And on top of that, we build our compatible software, including OCR, measurement, and others. And we developed our own hardware also. We have our own industry cameras, scanners, robotic arms, and some what we call all-in-one machines, the AI machines. So this SmartMore Fimo autonomously adapts to industry software and hardware, and it quickly builds a cross-industry smart manufacturing ecosystem within a factory. So these are what we call commercialized technology. Our smart sensor series, our smart scanners, and industry cameras, which comes with compatible software. We also have this all-in-one smart machine. We offer more than 60 smart all-in-one machines, providing one-stop smart manufacturing turnkey services to different industries. So empowering the whole production line from inbound material inventory, material inspection, the production process itself, quality control, and to outbound delivery. And this type of technology applies to different industries, including automotive, electronics, PCB, semiconductor, precision materials, optics, fibers, and also food and beverages. So SmartMore aims to build smart factory in Hong Kong. The whole thing is based on a systematic Industry 4.0 technology integration. And the concept behind is automation, digitalization, and finally, intelligentization. And we want to achieve manufacturing excellence at the end of the day. And for talking about reindustrialization, it has been, a policy across the globe, from manufacturing USA in the US, and manufacturing 2025 in the UK, and France, the new industrial program, and to Industrial 4.0 in Germany, then made in China 2050, and we have a reindustrialization program in Japan, and also the Korean New Deal. So I sincerely hope that SmartMore can empower smart manufacturing and facilitate reindustrialization in Hong Kong. We are aiming for smart tech for a smarter future. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Chen. Thank you. Now it is the panel discussion. May I please invite Roy and all our speakers once again to please proceed to the stage for the panel discussion, please. Thank you. So right before the discussion, are we going to take a picture together? Please, everyone. Already? Say cheese. Thank you. Thank you, Roy. I'll hand it over to you. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm happy to have a chance to moderate this panel discussion. Actually, we have the whole value chain about the AM today. We have Lucas, you have the S3, very important R&D center. We have the Hong Kong PC enablers, technology enablers. We also have the Cindy, we have the R1 manufacturing technology. We also have the EMS system, smart manufacturers, robots today. So I think it will be a very good panel discussion today. But when I actually PwC as the advisor for the long-term manufacturing, we always discussion about the R1 manufacturing. So we have to always confuse what is the advanced manufacturing. This is the biotechnology as R1 manufacturing, or food production is R1 manufacturing. So I think it's a very important definition, especially for the government planning ahead for the future 20 years. So I think we can very quickly start about this question about what is the R1 manufacturing. Maybe I take off from Samson from Hong Kong PC Plus Review.
Okay, it is a quite interesting question. As I mentioned before, every industry has its own unique features. We have no strictly or clear definition of what is advanced or not. But if you see the improvement or the advancement of the technology from each industry, you can clearly see that this is a new tech or the new method or not more innovative method to make it more productive or more valuable in producing the things. So with the high precision machinery, more automatic method, we can clearly find that this is an advanced method rather than there's a strict line what's advanced or not. This is my own experience. Thank you.
Thank you. Lucas, what do you think?
As technology is moving every day, so I think it's true because today's advice may not be advice tomorrow. So in this case, what I will say is like this: what I say is like okay, something I say is the quality of the output. So whether you will produce the product is faster, more efficient, or the quality level is higher, then it is the advanced technology. So this is my definition.
Roberto? What do you think?
At the end, Dr. Lucas said what I wanted to say. From the manufacturing point of view, the point is to sell quality. Because everybody say, how much does it cost now if you do this instead of to do that, right? I realized that now we need to sell quality. And for me, advanced means simply that.
Yeah, Cindy, do you have any?
Yes, every industry can be regarded as advanced industry if they implemented our products. So as long as, I agree with Roberto, high quality, we are looking for precision, and if we are looking for speed, this is what I call advanced technology.
That means that the advanced manufacturing is not related to, it's not regarding to look like the industry, if you want to production methodology. So that's why, for example, using iPhone 4.0 for reindustrialization, automation, actually is we call the advanced manufacturing. So I think another question I think interesting is what is the challenge and opportunity of developing advanced manufacturing in Hong Kong? Especially, Roberto, I think you just finished to work with Hong Kong PC for the production in Yunnan and will move to AMC. So what do you think challenge, opportunity?
Okay. Let me just spend a few minutes about what we did. Okay, our experience on the field. Starting during the pandemic, startup production in Yulong was challenging a lot. We had 1,000 challenges every day. But at the end, we succeed, okay? So today, I am here basically because we succeed. If you'd called me 2 years ago, I will never come. But okay, at the end, we were able to start not only a production, but also to produce new products for our customers that in Europe were under full pandemic. So this, is the main point. Using Hong Kong PC support, even if they were not able to call the technician from Shenzhen. At the end, we succeed. Is how to say, a way to overcome the difficulties. Simple.
I think as the advisor for the robots, what do you think about the opportunity and shortcoming for the AM in Hong Kong?
I think the challenge, of course, is people, because advanced manufacturing need people to be more creative, more knowledgeable, and able to tap the new technology all over the world. And other challenge is the exchange of information. We cannot do it locally. We cannot think it locally. We should think it globally. So how can we exchange idea with the overseas company or other institute is very important. Of course, I would say Hong Kong is a quite good places. We can exchange information easily. We can travel all over the world easily. But there's no free lunch. We still have a lot of effort to do it. So I think the challenge is also the opportunities. Thank you.
So how about the land or the floor area? Cindy, what do you think about? Do it easier to find the suitable premises for your office or for your
we are very lucky. We got supported by the Hong Kong STP, the Hong Kong Science and Technology Park Company, and they offer quite different types of premises for us, no matter office, R&D spaces, or even advanced manufacturing site. But still, we are looking for something bigger because we want to grow. So I think as a lot of panelists before were saying that land is the major problem in Hong Kong. It's not just we are looking for residential land, but it's a land that can give value to us. For example, it's not can raise talents from this piece of land. And if we are talking about manufacturing, you will think about manufacturing plants. We need land. So that's a big problem.
Do you think Hong Kong, we are the one of the key manufacturing center back to 20, 30 years ago. We still have a lot of industrial building in Kwun Tong, and so that's why you are not able to leverage about this building, or what the issue about this kind of building?
Basically, those buildings, they don't equipped with the modern infrastructures for advanced manufacturing. We are talking about electricity, water, or other ventilation facilities. Even, I can say, the height of the ceiling restrict us from putting in our all-in-one machines. So I think we need new infrastructure, for advanced manufacturing. So the AMC in Chung Kung Road is a very good start, but we would like to, have some more places not just for electronics, but for biotech and for other advanced technologies to flourish in Hong Kong.
That means that the conventional industrial building may not be suitable for your requirements. So that's why that, for example, you will need some look like AMC or some new type of a modern building to fit your production or fit your operation. Interesting. And Lucas, I think one very important question is what do you think about the opportunity? I think you talk about the constraint, land, knowledge. And what is the opportunity about the AM? How to leverage about very strong primary R&D is what the S3 doing every day. But how to do the commercial line and do the AM?
I think, okay, if you're talking about AM, okay, because, okay, it is talking about something that is of a high quality. And, okay, I remember, okay, I mean, in the first panel, okay, Dr. Ng's discussion about the 4 types, okay, if you think about what are the four types of products, the food, advanced electronic, biotech, and the other one, environmental, something. So all these, you can see there's one common factor. Is that the quality control is a high standard. Hong Kong is a very good, because the Hong Kong system is being trusted by many places. Okay, so if you're talking about no matter it's the food or the biotech or the others, well, whenever it needs a very high standard, I would say that this is an opportunity in Hong Kong, because actually right now we are grouping about the different technology as we mentioned about. I mean, it's either the communication or the data sensing, whatever. But still, we say that when you are doing your manufacturing, you automatically will know that the quality is really high. So in this case, it is a very lower cost for you to satisfy certain standard or whatever. And this will be the, advantages of Hong Kong. So if you're thinking about, well, we need to focus on the high value product, definitely, right?
Absolutely.
Then in this case, it is automatically come in with the high quality control standard. So I would say that this will be the part that is, good for Hong Kong. And in fact, it needs quite a lot of, integration of different advanced technologies from the basic point and through the application point. And then we have to use the, I totally agree that we need to have a lot of more land. It's not only about the real manufacturing plant, but also because there are a lot of prototyping and trial and error, a lot of testing those environments. So this, I would say, is the opportunity in Hong Kong.
I think I understand that Hong Kong, Hong Kong is a lever to serve themselves only. We are serve global for GBA and China. And one of the opportunity of our manufacturing products is our GBA market or mainland China market. Is it what the local metropolis they want to focus on? Through the special policy, through the flow of the talents to unlock the opportunity with the GBA. And I think the one of key questions I want to know is I want to discuss is we know the Lofty Metropolis is a 20 years project, and one of the important is the policy. So what do you think about the new policy that really can attract the people coming Hong Kong, or will attract the MNC mainland company to locate in the Lofton to cooperate with Shenzhen together? What policy or what special policy you think is important to unlock this opportunity? So maybe you come from the operator first, Cindy?
Oh, okay, I think it's about talents, recruitment of talents into this special zone. So from what I've heard before, that there will be, an easy flow of talents from Shenzhen, cross-border, and even for Hong Kong citizens, they can skip the formal immigration procedures to go inside this piece of land, the loop, to work. So I think the free flow of talents, allow them to commute on a daily basis to the loop to work is really important.
Thank you. What do you think?
When? I need only to know when.
When?
Okay, Neurotech in this moment is for sure we try to overcome a little bit this problem because we don't need high talented PhD, master degree students or people. We made some contact. We had some contact with VTC locally, so we have several students already since more than 1 year that are collaborating with us. Obviously, when we will be able to be linked to physically linked to Shenzhen area will be totally another level. So I would like to know when.
I think manpower is very important. Wherever is the PhD level or even the technical level is very important. But I want to raise one idea when I heard from the international firm is in China, in GBA, even you manufacture in Hong Kong, you still need to pass through a very complicated procedure if you want to get into GBA market, especially about biomedical products. You need to get through the CFDA if in log-frame manufacturers or if in loop. If a special policy, if a manufacturer in there, you can streamline all the procedure or approval process for example, CFDA. What do you think about? Is this a very important policy to unlock the AM? Lucas?
Well, I think definitely this is one. In fact, okay, actually we reflect about, well, actually all the discussions are linked together. About, for example, we talk about a tenant. Okay, for example, one of the problem that actually we are recruiting, actually SU is recruiting, I mean, globally. We recruit everywhere over the world. And the people will usually think that, well, the market in Hong Kong is so small. And if he has another job, okay, potential job offer in GBA, saying, you will say that definitely the market will be bigger. But you can see that there's a mindset is that they feel when they work in Hong Kong for the high-tech, I mean, area, we will not be able to access about the GBA market. But this is actually is not the case. We can still have this one. But of course, I mean for the regulation-wise, how we will be linked up of this. So in this case, in Hong Kong, we can have an easier procedure so that we can make the product complying with the GBA standard. Those policies are important. And it's not only the real physical policy, but also it has to give the impression for the people saying that, if you globally, okay, you fly to Hong Kong to work, you can still access the GBA market. If we can have this message out, I think it is easier for us to recruit, I mean, the tenants over the world.
Very interesting. I think, Senator, I think you are, I understand Hong Kong PC, they're stepping a lot of the local manufacturer. I also understand that they have similar issue about how to get into GBA market without a strong policy support. What do you think? What do you think about how loop or how log module loop or how the log frame manufacturer, the policy can unlock the opportunity for your clients?
I totally agree with what you say, that if we can have a mutual recognition between the testing or standard between Hong Kong and China, then we can unlock it. Because in the past time, we served the European market and USA market. So we all comply to FDA whatsoever. But it's not possible to directly enter into China market. So to facilitate our enter into the market, we should have the same standard, same method. More than the regulation, I also encourage if the data for the testing can also be accepted by China. Because we do a lot of testing here, but when we go through the approval in China, they don't recognize this data, then we need to do it again. So if I agree say I want the data and also the compliance together to have the same standard, so we'll pass through Hong Kong, then go to GBA directly. And even the whole China, I would say.
Thank you, Samson. I think due to a time limit, I have a final question. I think, so we know even the science part expansion or log frame manufacturer, they need to take the 10 years, 5 to 10 years. During this period, what government can do? What science park can do, or what the cyberport wall can do to maintain the competition edge of the R&D industry in Hong Kong? So I think maybe Lucas first.
Okay. Well, I always say this one is, if you have something, okay, is independent of time that is beneficial, is to nurture talent. So definitely what I will say is like this, is the government can do is this is to bring more, incentive actually mentioned about this, for the people to study about the STEM education. So for example, encourage the university to recruit the students. They're really good in the STEM competition, but without going through the DSE exam, and they can go direct to the universities, and more link up with the university, with S3 or the industries, so that the STEM students will have more chance to do the internship and get more information. This will be something I would say that definitely is useful. And it's useful short term and also long term.
I always, it's difficult for me to say something different than Lucas, but at the end, yes, I don't want to repeat again. For sure, it's a long way, it's a long process. It's not a switch, the 0 to 1, and tomorrow morning everything will be okay. For sure, encouraging the policies becoming one GBA instead of to be Hong Kong and mainland China separated will be a big step in this process. So this is for me the main prey to the local government.
I mean, for
Wendy?
us, private company, for short terms, of course, we are looking for incentives. So government fundings and partnerships with statutory bodies, it's very important to us.
Yes.
Yes.
So, Samson?
So very practical.
I know physically it takes time to build a non-metaverse for 10 years, but I think in the soft side, like the regulation, like the tax policy, like the talent exchange, we can do it now. No need to wait for 10 years.
Absolutely. Thank you. I think we are over 5 minutes, but I think today's discussion is that we have a very good point. For example, the view about long-term maturity, policy, human resources, and also the data flow, something like that. Especially, I think what the Samson mentioned, that we don't need to wait 5 or 10 years, and we need the policy, we need the tech now. I think all the information, I think, is a very good to provide to the government to consider into the next 5, 10 years INT policy and long-term maturity position. Thank you very much. I think give the thank you to all the panelists today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Roy, and thank you all panelists. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, the section has now come to an end. We hope that it has been a very fruitful afternoon for everyone. We at Invest Hong Kong are pleased to help overseas and mainland companies to set up in Hong Kong. So if you require any further information, please don't hesitate to contact us. Thank you once again for all our distinguished guests and our speakers for their insights, and all the participants for joining us today. Thank you all very much once again. Goodbye and have a great evening, everyone. Thank you.